President Donald Trump said Tuesday that NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircraft that enter their airspace. "Yes, I do," Trump said when asked about Russia breaching the airspace of NATO allies. According to Associated Press, he made the comments during a meeting with Ukraine's President Volodymr Zelensky on the sidelines of the United Nations meetings. Asked if the U.S. would provide military backup, Trump said it depends on the circumstance, but added, "We're very strong toward NATO." NATO warned Russia on Tuesday that it would use all means to defend against any further breaches of its airspace after the downing earlier this month of Russian drones over Poland and Estonia's report of an intrusion by Russian fighter jets last week.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
Mr. President, do you think that NATO countries should shoot down Russian aircraft if they enter their airspace?
Yes, I do.
Mr. President, any update on your talks with President Putin, and do you still trust them?
I'll let you know in about a month from now. Okay.
Mr. President, have you been briefed on the latest alleged drone incursion into Denmark? What do you think of that? And
Where are they?
Into Denmark, Copenhagen. Denmark is saying that there were some drones that shut down an airport, possibly Russian sabotage. What's your response to that? Will the U.S. have a material response to that?
Well, I have no response until I find out exactly what happened. I know about it, but they don't know what happened. But we're going to find out very soon.
Sir.
Would you back up NATO allies? You said that you thought that they should shoot down the Russian aircraft. Would you back them up? Would the United States help them out in some way?
Depends on the circumstance, but we're very strong toward NATO. NATO has stepped up. When they went from 2% to 5%, that was great unity. Trillions of dollars is being pumped in, and they're paying us for the weapons that we send. But that was a big day. That nobody thought a thing like that could happen. You had countries that weren't paying 2%, and now they're all paying 5%. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of weapons they're buying, and they're buying them from us. They're buying them from the U.S. In the old days, Biden gave them everything, gave them $350 billion worth of money and weapons. That's a lot of money and a lot of weapons, and we got really not much for it. We gave the money to Ukraine to fight, and they've proven they're very brave. I mean, look, they're fighting, and this is a war going on 3.5 years, and people thought it would be over quickly because Russia's a big military power, and Ukraine, I tell you, they are good fighters. Got to hand it to them. They have a lot of courage, a lot of guts. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Brad.
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with a very powerful, very smart woman and a friend of mine, become a friend of mine.
President Donald Trump, who complained about the UN in his speech at the General Assembly, was asked about changes he'd like to see. He said the global institution could do more to keep the peace. "I mean, we shouldn't have any wars if the UN is really doing its job," Trump said alongside Ursula von der Leyen, President of the European Commission. "I know they were involved originally with Russia, Ukraine, and that didn't get done because that was the time to stop it," he said. According to Associated Press, Trump also complimented von der Leyen as a very powerful, very smart woman and a friend of mine. He added, "She does a fantastic job running lots of different nations."
These were wars that were pretty much unstoppable. These are wars that were not going to be settled. One was 31 years, one was 32 years, one was 30. Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor to be with a very powerful, very smart woman and a friend of mine, become a friend of mine. And she does a fantastic job running lots of different nations. And Ursula, thank you very much for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here. And very much looking forward to our conversation. I think it will be mainly around Ukraine, the missing children, and certainly the new hybrid threats we are experiencing in Europe. So thank you very much for making the time.
Well, thank you very much, and we will have a very good conversation. Any questions, please?
How soon do you think, Madam President, how soon do you think that Europe can stop buying Russian oil and gas fully like President Trump has asked for?
Yeah, President Trump is absolutely right. We're on it. We have reduced already massively the gas supply from Russia, completely gotten out of Russian coal, and massively also reduced the oil supply, but there's still some coming to the European continent. So what we do now, we put sanctions out to those ports where, for example, LNG is coming from Russia. And we want to put tariffs on oil supplies that are still coming to the European Union. So we are really getting, after the last bits of oil and gas coming from Russia to the European Union, we want to get rid of it.
When do you think you'll be able to do that? You previously said 2027, and you're looking at a quicker timeline.
We want to be out earlier, absolutely. So till the end of the year, we have the phasing out. We have now the sanctions on the table proposed. Member states have to agree, but we have to be faster because every payment is filling Putin's war chest. This cannot be.
Mr. President, nice to see you. During your speech to the General Assembly, you talked about the UN not reaching its potential. Do you see any kind of consequence if they don't step up and do what they should on a number of issues?
Well, they've never really reached, not just now, they've never reached their potential. The UN could be unbelievable with certain people running it. And no, it's never reached the potential. Look, I put out 7 wars, if you think about it, and I'm not the UN, and I wasn't helped by the UN. I was never even given a phone call. But you have a list of the wars, and these were wars that were pretty much unstoppable. These were wars that were not going to be settled. One was 31 years, one was 32 years, one was 35 years, and altogether a total of 7. 2 were starting, and I was never called by the UN. I was never like, I didn't even think about it, frankly, until after we did it. I never gave it a lot of thought. And then recently I started thinking, you know, we were never helped by the UN. The UN has tremendous potential, tremendous potential. It's going to hopefully put out the wars themselves. I mean, someday it's going to do what I've been doing, and they should be able to do it. Thank you for that question. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Given what you just said, what structural changes would you like to see in the UN, and what role do you think it can play in peacekeeping, for example, going forward, given what you just said?
Well, it's a fantastic role in peacekeeping. It should be great. I mean, we shouldn't have any wars if the UN's really doing its job. I know they were involved originally with Russia, Ukraine, and that didn't get done because that was the time to stop it. But no, I always say about the UN, fantastic potential, but it's all about the people. You know, you can have a wonderful concept, but if you don't have the people, the UN has never lived up to its potential. But I'm the example of it. We do all these wars, and we weren't helped by the UN. We weren't hurt by them, but we weren't helped. They didn't do anything. And they're supposed to be solving these problems. Thank you very much, everybody. We have a lot of meetings. We have a lot of meetings to go. So these were wars that were pretty much unstoppable. These are wars that were not going to be settled. One was 31 years, one was 32 years, one was